Sometimes when we see those big discrepancy in skill, sometimes the better fighter carries the other fighter, or maybe goes a little easier. Is there any part of you that maybe thinks that way, or are you going in there 100%?
Zero part of me. And it's not even that it's Jake. It's just, do you know, I was actually looking at myself today. I'm a very respectful guy, brought up by a good family, but if I can kill you, I will kill you. That's just how I am. And this is just the job I do, so let's go.
The fight is over. Anthony Joshua's hand is raised, but the story doesn't settle. It erupts. Not in the ring, not during the post-fight interview, but on Instagram Live, where words started flying faster than punches ever did. Joshua clearly won. The power difference was obvious, the size gap was obvious, and multiple times it seemed like he could inflict real damage, the kind that sends fighters to hospitals, not highlight reels. Yet he didn't go that far. He finished the fight, claimed the win, and walked away like a professional.
I'm gonna break his face, I'm gonna break his body up, I'm gonna stomp all over him. That's my mentality, right? That's a fighter's mentality, and I know what's in my heart, I know what's in my mind, and I'm here to compete. I'm here to prove myself that I'm the better fighter, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'll do it until I finish fighting, no matter.
Jake Paul, however, didn't disappear quietly. Hours after the fight, the two faced off again, this time through phone screens. And that's when the line was dropped, the one that sent boxing Twitter into chaos.
Actually, internally, I'm the most scared going into a fight that I've actually ever been. You know, obviously he has a lot of power punches. If you get caught, of course, you know, he's gonna defeat you.
Joshua didn't sound emotional. He didn't sound rattled. He sounded cold and matter-of-fact. A man reminding someone how far they'd pushed it and how close they came. Jake laughed it off at first, tried to turn it into content, and tried to frame it as banter. But the tension was real. This wasn't promotion anymore. This was ego colliding with reality. To understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to rewind. The warnings were everywhere long before the first bell rang.
Why do you feel like everything is his to lose and not for you as well?
Bro, the pressure's on him. I'm fighting free. I've already won. This is a lose-lose situation for him. I've got him in a corner right where I want him.
Everyone's saying you're crazy for doing this. Why are you doing it? Why are you bringing this upon yourself? What is your response to those doubters?
I'm here to show the world what's possible, to show kids what's possible with self-belief. That's what this whole fight is about. I'm here to change the sport. I'm here to inspire the next generation of athletes to chase their goals and do the unthinkable.
6 years ago, in this very city, you made your pro debut. Could you have ever imagined that you'd be facing off against a guy of his stature with his resume 6 short years later?
I can't imagine this, man. It's a testament to God and the journey he's put me on. I'm just so blessed and grateful to be here with all these fans and supporters, and tomorrow we're going to put on an amazing show.
And finally, what is your prediction, Jake?
Probably the 6th or 7th round knockout.
Okay. And that's it.
I'm him up, Burial! I'm him up!
Ryan Garcia was one of the first fighters to publicly shut down the fantasy. No dancing around it, no hype. He said straight up that Jake Paul had no chance against Anthony Joshua.
My prediction for the Jake Paul versus the Anthony Joshua fight, I actually kind of find it a little disrespectful. I'm going to say the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight. I got $50,000 on Anthony Joshua winning. I'm only going to win $5,500 for the bet because he's such a favorite. I don't care. The reason why I'm doing it, because there's no chance that Jake Paul could ever win. He's not a good fighter compared to Anthony Joshua. This dude got too much experience, and I'm betting it right here. You see it. Look at that, 50 grand, all on Anthony Joshua to win. You know, it's just gonna be easy work, and that's about it. Peace.
Ryan wasn't speaking as a hater. He was speaking as a boxer who understands levels. Timing, distance, power. Things you don't learn from sparring sessions or viral knockouts.
You know, for me, in my opinion, I think it's scripted a little bit because of the weight difference, and Joshua is a former champion, and also he's current, he's active. This is going to be the first time that we see Paul fighting an active fighter. We seen the Mike Tyson, that was all fun, that was cute, it's fun and games and stuff, but now you're dealing with a real professional, and so we'll see how it ends up like I said, I think it's scripted, but we're gonna see. At the end of the day, I just want everybody to have fun. I want them to enjoy themselves, because we risk our lives for others' entertainment, and just go home safely, to be able to have memories and say we did a great job.
Thank you. Let's get a bomb squad to end.
Bomb squad!
Lennox Lewis took it even further. He didn't talk about winning or losing. He talked about survival. He said Jake wasn't trying to beat Joshua, he was just trying to get through it.
Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. What do you think when I heard about the fight? I said, they're gonna actually fight? I didn't believe it. But what we gotta do is say, Jake Paul really bit off a lot this time. He's serious, he wants to go up against a true heavyweight, and that's Anthony Joshua. So he's up against a heavyweight. How's he gonna adopt? How's he gonna feel? How's he gonna fight when he gets in there? I don't see him fighting. I see him looking to survive in the fight. He's gonna feel the uppercut. He's gonna feel the jab. He's gonna feel the right hand. How's he gonna react? I don't know. We're gonna have to see how he's gonna react.
That's a heavyweight champion speaking. A man who knows exactly what heavyweight power does to the body. When Lennox says, survive, that's not an exaggeration. It's experience. Even Mike Tyson, who's publicly supported Jake in the past, had already set the stage years ago when he spoke about Joshua after the Usyk loss. Tyson told AJ to keep pushing, trust his skill, and trust his foundation. Joshua showed up focused, lean, and controlled. That's why the post-fight Instagram live felt different. Joshua wasn't speaking from emotion. He was speaking from authority. Even Tommy Fury couldn't resist weighing in. And his comment aged perfectly. If he thought he could beat Jake Paul, just imagine what Anthony Joshua would do.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on, like you can't be serious. You can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So it's just ludicrous. It really is.
The imagination part wasn't needed anymore. Everyone had just watched it happen. Roy Jones Jr. had been saying it all along. Before the fight, he called it a great matchup for Joshua, saying AJ took out an Anu and would do the same to Jake. He noted the money was huge and the risk was low.
I want to change subjects just a little bit here. And Anthony Joshua, there's rumours circulating he could be fighting Jake Paul next. One, do you think it's good for boxing? And two, do you think the fight will happen?
I think it's great for boxing. I think the fight will happen. AJ is 1-0 against these guys that come in to these boxing careers late. So why not? He's a perfect guy to take him out too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And for him, he probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than we'll fight anybody else that he can fight right now. So why would he not do it? I mean, not that he needs the money right now anyway, but if he's going to do something, if he wants to get a good win to put it back on the scene, that's a perfect win. He gets a lot of money doing it.
But Roy also added pressure. He said Joshua had to knock Jake out because if he didn't, guys like Andre Ward would start asking questions.
Roy, if AJ doesn't get the knockout tomorrow, is that like almost a loss?
No, that's almost a loss, and Andre Ward coming for him. So it's definitely a loss, and Andre Ward is definitely coming for him. I am Andre Ward's legal promoter right now. If this happens, so if he loses, Andre Ward is definitely coming for him. If he goes the distance, Andre Ward coming for him. So if he knock him out, Andre might leave him alone. If he don't knock him out, Andre coming for him.
Roy, what's your reaction to the size difference?
It's no reaction to size difference. I'm used to that. I gave Ruiz 27 pounds and still did what I had to do. So that's nothing new to me. You're trying to shock the world. You got to do something different to shock the world.
That context matters when you listen to Joshua on Instagram Live. His words weren't just about Jake's mouth. They were about expectations, responsibility, and knowing the level of damage you can inflict while choosing when to stop. One boxing purist summed it up perfectly. Jake had serious guts for calling out Joshua. The fights aren't fixed, but if AJ didn't beat Jake decisively, eyebrows would be raised.
First of all, kudos to Jake Paul. The cojones this motherfucker has. From a Disney kid to YouTube to... He can fight anyone and get views and make fucking money. This crazy wild boy sends out the bat signal, the British bat signal for Anthony motherfucking Joshua. You know how crazy that is? I will say this. I don't think any of Jake Paul's fights are fixed in any capacity. At all. Not even close. I don't get down that narrative. I will say this though. My spidey senses will go off if Anthony Joshua doesn't absolutely mop the floor with him.
After the fight, eyebrows weren't raised, they were lowered. Nods replaced questions. Even Dana White didn't know the fight was happening at first. When he found out, he called it a terrible idea, but he admitted the truth. Everyone was going to watch.
Did you see the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami?
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
And people watched because danger sells, and because everyone wanted to see if Jake Paul's confidence could survive heavyweight reality. Even the sidemen, who understand influencer culture better than almost anyone, said Jake was crazy for stepping up to Joshua.
Jake is fine, AJ.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to give him props. Fair play, Jake. That is a big fight. I mean, AJ should knock him out.
It is a weird one. Like, am I just being stupid? Like, is he not just going to wig him?
AJ by soap being dropped in prison. AJ by brutal Bonnie Blue scene. AJ by just something vile.
Him even stepping up to fight AJ.
AJ two-time heavyweight world champion. Yeah, no joke.
That word kept coming up. Crazy, brave, or delusional, depending on who you asked. Joe Rogan framed it best. He called it the craziest matchup imaginable. Jake had just fought 58-year-old Mike Tyson in what looked more like a controlled sparring session. Now he was facing one of the most dangerous heavyweight punchers of this era. Rogan also said something crucial. Joshua knows how to handle fighters who aren't on his level. He doesn't rush. He doesn't panic. He lets experience do the work. And that's exactly what happened. Jake, for his part, never backed down verbally. Even after the fight, even on Instagram Live, he kept talking.
Jake makes a ton of money fighting guys he's supposed to beat. Now he's fighting a guy that he's not supposed to beat. So it's a really, I don't know. I don't know what the play is, but I don't know. Jake is an interesting guy, man. And like I said, I'm gonna say it again. He is not dumb. So he's got something up his sleeve, whatever it may be. If it's just a way to get respect and to make a ton of money and keep this deal alive, that right there is respectable. If that's the play, that's the play. If he really thinks that he can beat Anthony Joshua, shoot, then that's the play there. Listen, he's taking a risk. He's taking a chance. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of upside. The downside is getting hurt. That's another reason why people are like, oh, Joshua's gonna throw it. I'm like, no, he's not. He's got a bunch of lucrative dates down the line. This is one of them. And if he goes out there and was quote unquote take the bag and throw this fight, it's gonna take all the credibility away from any future earning potential. So that he'd be taking so much money out of his pocket to try and make the money right now. That doesn't make any sense.
Before the fight, Jake said he'd knock Joshua out. He spoke about speed, timing, and tricks. He talked about climbing from Ben Askren all the way to Anthony Joshua.
You look forward to facing off with Joshua. To break down the face-off, what do you know about his size? Did you say anything? Did he say anything?
No, we didn't say anything, but he looks intense, focused, locked in. He's obviously very, very tall. Looking up, my tallest opponent. My eyes are at his, chest level. But yeah, he's locked in. I'm locked in. I don't think there's fear in his eyes or in my eyes.
Yeah, Jake, tell us the difference between your face-off with Gervonta, where
were a head taller looking down and now looking up at Joshua?
No, it's surreal. All of it is very, very funny, and my neck started to hurt after looking up for a little bit. But this is what we signed up for, and he's very tall, but that means I can use my speed and my size to my advantage as well.
Jake, what type of journey has it been for you to start all the way from fighting guys like Ben Askren and rising all the way up to Anthony Joshua? Just explain quickly that journey for you as a fighter.
On Instagram Live, that same confidence was still there, but now it sounded louder than it looked. He was matching the energy, finishing sentences Anthony Joshua had said before the fight, that he was taking Jake seriously and that his confidence wasn't about Jake being small but about himself. Joshua said it didn't matter if Jake was 10 feet tall, he could still handle him.
Take him very seriously.
Are you going to do a lot of film study on him, or are you going to just mostly be focused on yourself in the lead up to this?
A mix, but mainly focus on myself.
During that face-off, I couldn't believe how much bigger you were than him. Is your confidence kind of through the roof when you kind of looked out, when you're looking down on him like that?
This is what I'm going to say. I don't want to focus on it being like about Jake. Oh, Jake's small, so that makes me confident. Jake's this, so that makes me confident. I'm just focused on myself. I'm confident in myself. Jake could be 10 foot. I'm confident in myself. That's what I'm saying. It's not about how he is. I just really
that confidence carried through after the fight. Not in celebration, not in trash talk, but in restraint. Which brings us back to that line. Thank me for not killing you. It wasn't a threat, it was a reminder. A line drawn between boxing and content, between entertainment and consequences. Eddie Hearn had said it best before any of this happened. Jake was crazy, he had no chance, and as soon as AJ landed a clean shot on the chin, the fight would be over. Hearn also said something else that matters now. This wasn't Instagram comments. This wasn't trolling. This was a real fight, and real fights leave real tension behind. That IG Live wasn't scripted or polished. It was two men from opposite worlds colliding again after the bell, one from legacy, one from spectacle.
I started my boxing journey here in Miami, and we're bringing it back. I'm going to shock the world and pull off the biggest upset in sports history.
Jake Paul got what he wanted, the biggest name, the biggest stage, and the biggest payday. He earned respect for stepping in. Anthony Joshua got what he needed, a win, control, and a reminder to the world that heavyweight boxing is not a game. And when Joshua delivered that line, it wasn't about dominance, it was about boundaries.
AJ by knockout, brutal knockout. Nakisa is making a big mistake putting Jake Paul in a fight like this because he's gonna want to see him get hurt. I mean, these guys are going for the money, where really, you know, he has a life after boxing as well. Let's hope he comes out the ring in one piece.
Could I ask you individually, why are they doing this? So start with AJ, why is he doing this?
AJ, if I was AJ, I'd do the same thing, because at the end of the day, you're fighting a YouTuber, and why not? I mean, getting paid millions and millions of pounds, and why is Jake doing? Jake's just doing it for probably the fan following. Maybe he wants to get the boxing audience. But look, who knows? I mean, anything can happen in boxing. One punch can change the fight, but I just don't think he has that one punch to change the fight. It's just does Jake Paul.
Now the question shifts. Was Jake Paul out of line for continuing to talk after the fight? Or was this just another chapter in the influencer boxing era refusing to stay quiet? And did Anthony Joshua say exactly what needed to be said? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was AJ right, or did he go too far? Subscribe to Fight Field for more boxing breakdowns, post-fight drama, and real analysis.